Today we're going to be working with the Viking civilization. Rather complex society, despite their reputation of violence. Vikings had a sophisticated society with skilled craftspeople, farmers, and even poets and storytellers. And the Viking society were hierarchical, with chieftains, leading clans, and powerful kings emerging in the later Viking age. Vikings were polytheistic, believing in pantheon of gods and goddesses, including Odin, Thor, and Freya. They held elaborate rituals and sacrifices. And the longships, these were their pride and joy, fast, maneuverable ships that could travel both on rivers and open sea. And there were skilled blacksmiths which crafted swords, axes, spears, and shields. And they also used tools like plows, sickles, and scythes for agriculture. The wonderful runes were a system of writing used by many Germanic peoples, not just the Vikings. They were carved into stone, wood, bone, and even metal. And runes were believed to hold magical power and used for divination, predicting the future as we know it, and protection, and even cursing enemies in those days. They were often erected to commemorate fallen warriors or important events, and also the runes were inscribed on these items for protection and good luck, amulets and jewelry, and everyday objects. And runes could be found on tools, weapons, and even household items. And the birds in Viking culture were ravens associated with Odin, the god of war and wisdom, and they were often kept as pets and were considered symbols of intelligence and courage. And the eagles, also associated with Odin, they were symbols of strength and power. Swans, symbols of love, beauty, and grace. And other birds, many other birds, were hunted for food or their feathers. They had a very mixed economy, and Vikings were primarily farmers, raising crops like barley, oats, and rye, and they also kept livestock for meat, milk, and wool. Forests provided resources like timber and game, including deer, boar, and elk, and they also fished in rivers and the sea. The Viking Age didn't end with a sudden disappearance. It gradually transitioned as several factors came into play. European kingdoms became better at defending themselves against Viking raids. They built stronger fortifications and developed more effective military strategies. And then Christianity gradually spread across Scandinavia, influencing social and political structures. This led to a decline in the traditional Viking values of raiding and warfare. Power struggles and conflicts within Scandinavian societies also contributed to the decline of the Viking expansion. And many Vikings settled in the lands they conquered, intermarrying with the local populations and becoming part of the broader European culture. And the Viking legacy continues to this day. Their impact can be seen in the languages, places, and cultural traditions of many European countries. And the Vikings were not a single people, but rather a diverse group of people from Scandinavia. And the end of the Viking Age was a gradual process, not a sudden event.